Tasted so refreshing. Coors Banquet. Start your legacy.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
It's a hot Monday here in the Bronx. Crowd filing into Yankee Stadium where it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the Blue Jays in the first game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with David Cohn and Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Yankees are off the road, and boy, are they glad. Awful road trip, 2-7 on the trip, and they just lost 2 out of 3 at Citi Field against the Mets. So they'll try to get back to the winning ways, and they turn to Ryan Weathers to make the start tonight.
Well, that is the formula, right? The Yankees, when they get good starting pitching, their pitchers put them in a position to score first, and Weathers has been just about as good as anybody. That sweeper has been outstanding this year. He is pounding the strike zone like a lot of these Yankee starters. That is the recipe for success. Weathers needs to come up big tonight.
Last 4 starts, he has 2-0, 1.88, more than a strikeout per inning. Opponents hitting 176 against him. Well, the Blue Jays certainly gave the Yankees trouble last year. That broke the tie. They both had 94 wins, and the Blue Jays had home field advantage in the division series. But a new face for the Blue Jays coming from Japan, and we have to have you tell us about it, Kazuma Okamoto.
Yes, he's known as a power hitter. He led the league over there 3 times, and he's also a 3-time Gold Glover. He's starting to show his power now, leading the Blue Jays in home runs. But they brought him in for some pop and good defense. So far, so good for the Blue Jays.
So far, so good as well, and he does go the other way, has power that way as well. And at third base, doesn't have much range, but he can pick it. Won a couple of Gold Gloves in Japan. First 30 games, a .218 hitter with 15 ribbies, not much of an OPS, but the last 14, much better, .264, 5 home runs, 12 ribbies, and an OPS of .959. Well, Anthony Volpe had a pretty good weekend in Queens. He walked a lot, got some big base hits in yesterday's game as well. Well, Meredith Marakovich talked to the Yankee shortstop. That'll be next, right here on Yes.
Now backstage.
Welcome back to the Bronx for Yankees baseball on Yes, as the Yankees welcome the Toronto Blue Jays for the first of a 4-game series. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovich. It looked like Anthony Volpe was going to be the hero in the series finale against the Mets. However, the bullpen was not able to hold on. Volpe went 2 for 3 on Sunday with 3 RBIs. After the game, I caught up with him in the clubhouse to ask him about how he was feeling at the plate.
I got some good pitches to hit and put some good swings on them, and yeah, it's a fun lineup to hit in and just trying to do my job.
Obviously not the end result you guys want as a team, but satisfying for you to get some results out there and contribute as that game is going on offensively?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, just trying to do my job and contribute in any way I can, and had some good opportunities.
And Volpe is definitely showing some patience at the plate, walking 7 times since being called up. Tonight will mark his 5th start at shortstop on the season. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Ryan Weathers gets the ball. First pitch next on Yes.
She didn't know where the road would lead, but the moment she stepped in, life changed. She now had all the power and space needed to live a life I might narrate.
Seriously?
The Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Live on New York. Life, pass it on. By Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. By the New York Lottery. This could be your lucky play. And by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Couple of Hall of Famers right there. Monday night crowd here at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees take the field to begin this 4-game series against the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays coming at 21-25, the Yankees 28-19, and we are right behind Ryan Weathers as he begins his warm-up. David gave you all the information. He has pitched well in his last 4 starts. He's given them length and threw 101 pitches in his last start. Took a no-hitter into the 7th inning to 101 pitches. That ties a career high. So the left-hander certainly making a case to stay in the Yankee rotation. This is the lineup that he's going to face. George Springer, the DH, will lead off. Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first. Kazuma Okamoto at third base. Lanin Sosa at second base will clean up. Dalton Varsho in center. Ernie Clement at short. Miles Straw in right field, bat 7. Batting 8 and catching is Brandon Valenzuela. And Davis Schneider in left field is going to bat 9.
And left-hander Ryan Weathers towing the slab in the boogie down here on a Monday night. You can see he's been solid all year. 13 walks, 54 strikeouts. That's pretty good. Let's give you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report. First strike. He's throwing a first strike this year, 10% more than he ever has in his career, and that leads to being able to use your slider. The swept away is probably his best finish pitch this year. That slider's been devastating, and the chase, he's getting more chases because he's getting more first strikes. One thing leads to another.
Let's take a look at the defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. You see the setup as Rosario gets start at third base. Escara behind the plate. And Matt Schumann is in left field. He's our Crucial defensive player profile. 8th career start in left field. His first with the Yankees. He can play all over, and the Yankees trust him every single place they put him. So about ready to start this 4-game set. Yankees with a 7-game homestand. Let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is low, and we're underway.
You got to be careful. You're talking about how good he is at first strike. So you look at Springer, 64 leadoff home runs career, second only to Ricky Henderson, who had 81. So it's got to be in your scouting report when you go over hitters. This guy loves first pitch. This guy's good here.
No doubt about it. First thing I want to know.
George Springer is struggling. First 14 games at 185, missed 15 games with a fractured big left toe, and since coming back hitting 188, he was so great last year, and also really good against the Yankees. Yankees with their first game with the patch on the right sleeve honoring the great John Sterling. His family was here to accept the patch and debut the uniform.
That is great.
Yeah, that's really cool. I remember, Coney, when you remember the pat. I remember Mickey Mantle when we wore the 7. I remember Joe DiMaggio when we wore that. It just it means so much to the tradition of the Yankees.
Well, that's very special and unique. That patch right there for a special and unique guy.
The 2-2 to Springer, and that got Escara. Now let's take a look at Ben May behind the plate. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered pitcher friendly. He's had 21 pitches challenged, 12 overturned. Calls more low strikes. And the first base ump is John Tompane, Brock Ballou at second, and Brennan Miller is at third. Line drive, a base hit over leading tryout Rosario. So Springer on with a leadoff single.
Well, the Blue Jays offensively, if you look at them numbers-wise, not so good. Springer's off to a tough start. Even Guerrero off to a tough start, but extremely dangerous. You know they can throw runs up. They did the same thing last year. Kind of got off to a mediocre start and then just turned it on. But Springer with a base hit to start this game.
So here's Vlad Guerrero Jr. High fly ball right field. Judge toward the line. We'll put it away.
It seems like every time you see Vlad swing the bat in Yankee Stadium, you wonder where it's going. He had an unbelievable playoff for him last year. His whole career, he seems like he's enjoyed playing here in Yankee Stadium.
Here's Okamoto. That one gets away from Escara and allows Springer to go to second. That might be a pass ball. Like hit him right in glove.
First pitch sweeper. And yeah, maybe the check swing kind of blocked him. Got caught looking at the runner. You can see the grip. kind of a unique grip with the spin, just chasing in. But yes, it just kind of got handcuffed him.
Looked like his fingers were all the way on the horseshoe of the baseball, which is usually, I mean, you're on the one seam to kind of pull it across. Huh?
Yeah, a lot of guys are throwing their sweeper with a two-seam oriented grip nowadays that get you kind of the ability to orient the seams and get a little seam shifted wake that helps the ball move more.
(2-0) to Okamoto, and that's strike. 29 years old. Signed a 4-year, $60 million contract on January 4th with Toronto. 11 seasons with the Yomiuri Giants. 6-time NPB All-Star. And that is a strikeout of Okamoto, 2 down.
You know, when you read the stats, his strikeouts are way up where they were in Japan, and there's a reason. It's all new pitching, probably a little bit better, who knows? But Giant, that's the same. Matsui played for the Giants too, right?
Absolutely. 11.3% strikeout rate last year in Japan, 28.6 here in the States. That'll bring up Lenin Sosa. So he has a 206 average this year, which is higher than his 204 on base percentage. You don't usually see that, but he has no walks and a sac fly.
That just didn't add up when you said that. I had to listen for the answer. There had to be a trick to it.
We'll get into it as we move along, but the Blue Jays have been just besieged by injuries. And the fact that they're within spitting distance of the final wild card in just 21 and 25 tells you that they've actually managed to stay in it. The pitching staff has gone down. Big hitters have gone down. Ground ball, Rosario. In the dirt, backhanded scoop by Goldschmidt. And that'll do it. They pitch around the leadoff single. The Yankees coming to that. Paul Goldschmidt taking a look as Patrick Corbin is warming up. Goldschmidt will lead off for the Yankees. He's at first base. The DH Ben Rice bats second. Aaron Judge in right field hits third. Cleaning up Cody Bellinger. Then Ahmed Rosario, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Bottom third of the order, Volpe, Schumann, and Escara. And they'll face the veteran lefty Patrick Corbin.
Indeed. He is a start on the year. He's been durable his whole career. You got to go back to 2012 when he broke in with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So yes, he has been around the block, and let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan pitcher scout report. And he's not a power guy. He leads with the slider and his cutter. That's the majority of pitches you'll see, pitches to contact. But his key is his durability. You know, he takes the ball and he gives you innings, and that's what the Blue Jays need right now with all the injuries they've had.
I was reading, Coney, that he is the only player in the major leagues with at least 30 starts in the last 8 seasons. I mean, that's you'd sign up for that anyway, right?
High fly ball, right center field. Straw back, track, wall, see ya. A leadoff home run for Paul Goldschmidt, and the Yankees are up 1-0.
I think he learned his trick in Baltimore, didn't he? First pitch, home run, get him off to a good start. Paul Goldschmidt's been on a tear, close to 400 his last 11 games. That's his 5th home run of the year. Swinging the bat great right now.
With Ben Rice, swing and a miss.
Nothing gets a team going quicker than a first pitch home run. Like that. Bang, bang, 1-0.
That one is laced to left field. On the run is Schneider. He dives. He can't make the play. And it goes to the wall. Ben Rice with another hit against a lefty. He has himself a double.
Well, first things first. I mean, this is just a little two-seamer to try to get ahead. Paul Goldschmidt said, all right, we'll go ahead. 1-0 out in the seats. And then Ben Rice, he just continues to impress me. And now against the lefty, stay in there. And there's a little, you talk about the hop on a good fastball. There's also a little hop on a good hitter. When they're hitting the ball solid, just beat the outfielder to the ball. Another double. Right there's about you got it, Coney.
A round baseball and a round bat. Hit squarely.
Right center field. Straw coming on, makes the catch. One down. Take a look at the Blue Jays defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Schneider, Varsho, who's outstanding. 83 defensive run saves since 2022. That's best of any position player in baseball. Miles Straw over right. You see how the infield lines up with Valenzuela. Good arm behind the plate. There's Cody Bellinger. He's in the throes of a 4 for 32 slump. And one of the amazing things about baseball is I think fans look at it differently than players. So you can't have a worse loss than you had yesterday. That was a kick in the teeth loss. And boom, the first pitch he hits a home run. It's like it doesn't spill into the next game.
But there's also something about, the end of a bad road trip. You can kind of close the book. Hey, we're coming home. Let's get things going. And you're right. Strike one. No, 1-0 off Goldschmidt's bat. You got to learn to live another day, Tony.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad losses out there over your career. Right?
Amnesia is a skill.
You're talking about Cody Bellinger struggling a little bit. Sometimes facing a lefty, being a left-handed hitter can really help because if you're pulling off the ball, you're opening up a little bit too quick, which causes you to go through these little funks. A lefty will make you stay in there a little bit longer.
Well, Bellinger, since last season, hitting .379 with a .398 on-base percentage against lefties. Corbin, 36 years old, from Clay, New York, which is a suburb of Syracuse. Wears number 46 because he grew up a Yankee fan, and he wears it because he liked Andy Pettitte. But his favorite player was Tino.
It's funny, Coney, because when we were playing, you'd idolize, George Brett, guys. Now guys are, we played with Pettitte, and here's a kid that grew up, has been in the game for a long time, that's wearing his number.
There was a time when we thought Patrick Corbin was going to be a Yankee when he was a free agent. He was in contention, but obviously did not work out.
Ended up signing a 6-year, $140 million contract with Washington. Soft ground ball, second base, Sosa. And moving to third is Rice.
You see Cody just getting out on his front foot a little bit too quick, which causes you to lunge, which causes you to not be able to stay through that ball. Watch when he's really tall and staying back, but here he's kind of reaching out on that front foot. It just causes you to roll over to the ball to second base.
So here is Ahmed Rosario. In his career, Rosario, a .296 hitter against left-handed pitching with an .800 OPS. He has started every game the Yankees have faced a lefty starter. You mentioned, people thought he was going to be a Yankee fan. He got married early in that offseason when he was a free agent. His younger brother gave the best man speech, and at the end he pulled out a Yankee hat and drew a lot of applause, but ultimately Corbin signed with Washington. The 0-2. Outside. He won a World Series with the Nats, though. And he's a winning pitcher out of the bullpen in Game 7 of the World Series. But over the next 5 years, he struggled. 5.62 ERA.
It's about the point in time Rosario has seen nothing but change-ups, breaking balls. That you're all right. I got to adjust the way I'm going to go about my at-bats tonight. Not seeing any fastballs.
Rice leads off third. And the count full. The Blue Jays starting rotation is just ravaged by injuries, and they signed Corbin to a one-year, $1 million deal on April 3rd. That's how late they waited, and he debuted a week later. Popped up, middle of the infield. Who's going to take it? Corbin's going to take it. How about that? But the Yankees get a run. The first pitch of the game is directed into the right field seats off the bat of the veteran Paul Goldschmidt. His 5th home run of the year at a 1-0 Yankee lead. Hey, play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a prop boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Jazz Chisholm plus 460 and Rosario plus 920 to hit a home run in this game. 1-0 count on Varsho. Got a shot of Central Park, and I mean, it feels like summer. It's not summer yet, but what a beautiful day.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. It's supposed to be hot again tomorrow, but then by the end of the week, Michael, we're right back to spring.
Yep. High pop-up on the right side. Let's see if it stays in play. Judge is there, and in foul territory, he makes the play. 1 down.
Wow. People look like they've never seen the sun around here, Michael. They're flocking to the park.
It's been missing for a while.
You could go to that park, or you could go to this park. You know,
We
let's
like
get
this
entertained here.
Into right field. Judge is right there to retire Ernie Clement. When you lived in the city as a player, did you go to Central Park?
Yes, absolutely, all the time. I used to have a charity softball tournament in Central Park.
I used to go ride the horses. Are they still there, the little carriage rides?
Oh, you mean the Calliope? Or the...
No, real horses.
Real horses?
They walk them from the west side, yeah, over there and take you a little ride.
Like what Wade Boggs did.
Well, he got on the horse. I had to sit in the carriage.
There's Miles Straw. And a strike.
That's one thing Weathers has done well this year, is drop that slider sweeper combo for strikes. Excellent command.
That's funny. The first time I saw his first start, I thought he's really going to have to learn that changeup to be able to get righties out. And his changeup has gotten better, but that curveball has really made him use both sides of the plate.
Lined. It's a base hit to left field off the bat of Straw. Kicks off the sidewall. Let's see. Foul ball.
Off the end of the bat, it hooked foul on you, Michael.
It did.
We got a bad angle here. See, if you were to be in the middle right now, you would have had a better angle.
Wow.
At least you get to see it live. I mean, when we were at Citi Field last night, I never saw home plate.
Well, Straw must have thought it was a fair ball. He was around first base.
He saw double.
Another thing with this new seating arrangement, Mike, I'm closer to the camera. That's not a good thing.
Nice close-up. Yeah. Did he go? Yes, he did, said John Tumpain. So the Blue Jays are retired in order. Still riding around Central Park. And it is time.
Welcome back. Prior to tonight's game, the Yankees made a roster move, optioning Elmer Rodriguez back to AAA, bringing up right-hander pitcher Giovanni Cruz. Should Cruz get in tonight's game, he will be making his major league debut. He got off to a little bit of a slow start in spring training due to some shoulder issues. However, he did impress when he did get in games throwing triple digits. He was averaging 99.3 miles an hour in AAA in the 15 games that he pitched with his fastball. Now, guys, I know what you're thinking. If they optioned Elmer Rodriguez, does that mean that Garrett Cole is going to make his next start up here at the big league level? Well, Aaron Boone said it is on the table right now, though no definite decision has been made. Should that happen, it most likely would be Friday, game 1 against the Rays. But last time out, Cole went 5 1/3 through 86 pitches. You wonder what the benefit would be to having him make one more minor league start if he is needed up here at the major league level.
Well, it'll be exciting for Yankee fans. It'll be here at Yankee Stadium. It'll be against the now first place Tampa Bay Rays, and he looked really good in his last rehab start. But I do think it's worth noting that Boone looked like he was breaking into Fort Knox to try to get those seeds.
I was going to say, that's the toughest bag of seeds I've ever seen.
I felt for the man
At that point, I'd have taken a bat and just beat it open.
There's Anthony Volpe. He has been on base in 9 of his 16 plate appearances. He has 7 walks. And now he has a base hit going the other way.
Well, if you could just bottle Anthony Volpe when he's swinging the bat and not worried about, home runs and just hitting the ball all over the place. This ball right there, I mean, that's just perfect hitting. Ball down and away, stay with it. Watch that top hand kind of stay through the ball, not go around it, and now you're able to get on first base and use one of your biggest skills, and that's running the bases.
Look at him trying to break in. First he uses the teeth, which is a sign of weakness there. He couldn't open it. Not a good bite.
I can hear my wife right now. Don't use your teeth. Don't use your teeth.
Now, I thought he was in here, but he just wasn't.
How about when you buy something now, at the drugstore, you come in, it's got that hard plastic. I mean, you literally have to get an axe to get in the thing. It's ridiculous.
Runner goes. The throw to second goes into center field. Volpe pops up and will go to third. So it's a stolen base and an E2.
I just love to see kind of running the bases back in the game. I mean, remember, this started off with a single to right field, a stolen base, and by sliding and picking up the baseball feet first, I always thought it was easier to see the ball. Cruises right into third base, scoring opportunity for the Yankees.
Such a great point there. Sliding feet first allowed him to see it. That's so good. He never hesitated. Right to third.
It's one of my pet peeves. If I had minor league kids, I would not allow head first slides. You get injuries. You don't see the ball, and you don't get there any faster. But sliding in and put yourself in a position where you're making the tag. Would you rather tag the oven mitt in a hand or a spike when it's coming at you? I mean, you have a little fear.
Well, the infield in. The count 3-2 on Schumann.
I mean, this is the old pop slide. You hit the base, it kind of pops you up. And look, just eye on the baseball, really never missed a beat.
Textbook. Did you see your boy Ellie De La Cruz the other day? Still second, still third, still home?
There is some talent to he just said there. I don't know that he's going to end his career as a Cincinnati Red, but boy, he has some talent.
Runner third, infield in, 1 out. And Schumann works a walk. And that passes the baton to J.C. Escar. Now, Escar started yesterday in the game against the Mets. Then he was pinch hit for, so Wells had to come in, had 2 important at-bats, made 2 big outs. And it was interesting when we saw Escar again And Boone said, you know, we're just going to take it day by day. Remember, it was supposed to be a day off for Wells, and he ended up playing. So that's why Escara's in there again.
It's kind of the new statement of the year, right? We'll see. It's not what you want, so we'll see.
An interesting defense here. You've got the middle infielders back in double play, and you've got the corners in.
The first time that Wells has been on the bench for back-to-back games. Grounded softly, foul. No, Wells was brutally honest after the game yesterday. He owned it. He said, I'm just not doing it. And you know, obviously it annoys him. You've been through slumps. The player wears it worse than anybody.
It seems like you know, he kind of digs himself a hole every year. He never gets off to a good start where you're always trying to catch up, and that can be mentally taxing as well.
He's 2 for 23 on the Yankee road trip. Now, Meredith, you spoke to Wells in the clubhouse after the game.
Michael, he actually spoke again today in the clubhouse, and he was asked about his start to the season, and he just said, it's been terrible. I expect more out of myself. I know I am capable of more. When asked how he gets things back on track offensively, he said, I just need to continue to go back to work, keep working on things. He's working with James Rousen almost on a daily basis as J.C. Escara strikes out here, trying to get right at the plate. When I asked Aaron Boone why he believes he is going to be able to do so, he simply said, he's always been a hitter. He's had some inconsistency to start the season, but he's a still young player in this league. He's catching really well. I think that is worth noting, that behind the plate he has controlled this pitching staff, but we need more from him offensively. Michael, whether or not they get it remains to be seen, but he is as frustrated as anyone that he has not been able to produce.
There's Goldschmidt. Takes pitch up and away as Corbin trying to wiggle out of this jam.
We saw Goldschmidt in this spot, I think in the Mets series, where he shot it to the right side where the hole is right now. And I guarantee you, if he gets a pitch out there, he's going to try to shoot it that way.
Yeah, that ball was inside. You can see he's trying to stay inside it. You're exactly right, Coney. And he does that more as the count gets in the favor. But you see the whole right side of the infield just wide open. Don Zimmer used to say you could drive a semi-truck through there. And you know, it made a lot of sense.
One. Tries to tie him up. He holds up. He had a home run in the first inning on the first pitch. We'll take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum. 105.1. Travel 393 feet.
Look, I mean, he is looking to go the other way. You can see even and Corbin has been throwing him inside. As much movement as is going on when you're pitching, can you see the hitter, his direction of where he's trying to go with the ball?
I think Corbin can. He's more of a veteran guy, so he probably does read the bat a little better. That's a real skill. I mean, it's boots on the ground, right? You read. Obviously, information is good. You want the tendencies, you want all the probabilities, but real-time information is important.
And that loads the bases for Ben Rice. And you saw the numbers that Goldschmidt has against Corbin, so he was very careful with Goldschmidt, but now has to deal with the red-hot Rice. Rice doubled the left field in the first inning. Volpe's at third, Schumann at second, and Goldschmidt is at first.
I always felt, Coney, if I hit a pitch, as Rice did early his first time up and drove it to left field, that Corbin is going to try to make an adjustment, and it's not. It used to make me so mad when I would change what I was trying to do to thinking he's going to make an adjustment, and he still stayed out there.
But the thing that Corbin's going to try to do is throw either a two-seamer in off the plate to keep him honest, and then go to that slider. His slider is his best pitch. If he doesn't get it in there, Ben Rice has really closed up that hole on the inner half for himself, and he really launches that ball. So got to be careful middle in.
Anthony Volpe's lead is almost halfway to home plate. The third baseman Okamoto pulled way off the line, and now the Blue Jay dugout is saying just fake moving a little closer, but if the ball just gets away by a foot, he might come home.
It's a great point, Michael, because the lefty on the mound has got his back to Anthony Volpe. So that's the danger zone there. If you're a right-handed pitcher, you're looking at him. Obviously, the lefty's not. I don't know if you want to take a chance with the bases loaded and this guy at the plate, but
very tough with a lefty at the plate, too. The catcher has an easy play just to lay the glove right in front of the plate.
In the dirt, blocked there by Valenzuela.
And again, you've seen all breaking balls all the way, and that's the one thing. It's not always about velocity, but one thing velocity does do to a hitter is make you think that I can't get to that ball inside. And Corbin really doesn't have enough to beat you inside. You got to trust that if he's going to come inside, he's trying to throw a ball.
The lefty deals. Foul ball. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded with the Yankees. They're up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. First game of a 4-game set between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Missed off the outside corner, 3-2. Judge on deck. Runners will go with 2 outs. Ground ball, second base, backhanded by Sosa. And Corbin works into and out of trouble, and the Yankees leave the bases loaded.
Say yes to
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Valenzuela will lead off. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Blue Jay order. The very important Alejandro Kirk had his left thumb broken by a foul tip on April 3rd, so he's been missing, and Valenzuela's done a decent job. But Kirk is a different kind of breed behind the plate and with the bat.
Yeah, double threat, right? Good defensively and just a tough out.
Blue Jays played a great World Series against the Dodgers last year, and if you want to be particularly frank, I think they outplayed the Dodgers. They just had a lot of bad luck. Ball sticking under the wall, just awful luck. And they ended up losing in the 7th game.
I look back at that. It was just, it made the pitch selection a hanging slider to a guy that hasn't played in a month. It's just not a pitch you could throw, especially when you throw 100. I mean, the worst you could give up on the outside corner is a single. Well, World Series, though. I mean, as a fan, you know, that the Yankees were out of it, I was on the couch and just kind of riveted. Every single game seemed to come down to the wire.
What are you saying? Shades of Mark Wohlers, the Jim Leyland
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
Throw him a slider when you throw 100? Wow. Depends on where you throw the slider a lot of times.
That's a fastball tipped into the glove of Escara. Well, the Yankees didn't do well against the Blue Jays last year. Blue Jays beat them in the ALDS. They beat them in the regular season, so the 94 wins that each had, Blue Jays didn't have to play around against the Red Sox. Yankees did. And then Blue Jays had home field, and they beat the Yankees in every which way.
What I remember last year watching the Blue Jays against the Yankees were just, they don't strike out a lot. And they're tough outs. I mean, there were 10 pitch, 11 pitch at bats. And it just, you know, Coney, you can speak on that. It just wears a pitcher out when you don't get easy outs.
Played 13 times in the regular season. Blue Jays won 8-5. Yankees were 5-3 at home. But including the playoffs, they were 1-8 in Toronto.
Mm-hmm. When you break down, the Blue Jays were a second-half team last year, and you know they're off to a mediocre start, 21-25. Last year they were 22-24 at the same time, so it's not like they've dug too big of a hole to get back in there. They're a very dangerous team if they get their pitching healthy.
2-2 on Davis Schneider. He is the number 9 batter and the left fielder. Did he go? No, he did not, said John Tumpain. And he hears it from the Yankee dugout and immediately says stop.
He's still chapped over the seats not opening, Michael. Taking it a little serious over there.
And he punches him out. Let's see, did he have a point? Looked like it went around.
That's a double down the line, Coney, right?
Well, from Boone's angle, too, he could see it so clearly. And he's dying to get out there and argue with umpires. He hadn't had a chance this year. Got the challenge system. It's taking that ball out of his pocket.
Tell you what, Tumpain gave him some latitude because he came out of the dugout and spread his arms like that. Other umpires might have punched him out right away.
I did that at Durwood Merrill one time. He threw me out of the game.
Durwood?
He goes, I don't even know who you are. Get out of here.
Durwood was the last guy that had the pillow chest protector.
Yes, he did.
I don't even know who you are.
Strike 3. Weathers strikes out the side. He has struck out 4 in a row. He's still barking. He was not happy, but he got the strikeout anyway. 3 of them, in fact. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is from Sammy, who had her entire group at the stadium for a recent game. Meet Kayla, Donovan, Cullen, Alina, Amaya, and Jovo. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures. Post to social media. Reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Like a school picture. All class.
Getting close to that time of year, right? Summer break. Kids out of school.
Best time of the year when you're in high school, right?
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, the school's out. I got you.
See, that would intimidate me because he never gets out of the box. If I'm on the mound.
It's funny you say that, Coney, because there were pitchers that never got off the mound, just kept staring at the target. It's like, you know, I need a little time here. You look a little too confident, right?
Yes. Grounded third, backing up, Okamoto. The scouting report on Okamoto, good glove, decent arm, doesn't have much range, but did a nice job on that one.
Yeah, it's all about picking yourself, either charging or kind of moving back to give yourself an easy hop. He chose to stay back on that. Plenty of time with Aaron Judge.
There's Bellinger. There's a base hit for Cody Bellinger. And he's going to go for 2. And the throw is in time. They got him on the slide by. And a good tag by Ernie Clement.
Well, Cody Bellinger, anytime you see a guy kind of going to it at an angle, you know, you think maybe you can get rid of these defensive players in center field. And Straw, who's a natural center fielder, just good athletes, good center fielders, didn't work out.
I love the aggressiveness. And you can see the angle. If he had a different angle going in, he might have been able to avoid it. But right out of the backs, he's busting it. He's thinking right now. I love the effort. I got no problem with that.
You know, if you base it, I mean, if that ball's juggled in the outfield or if it's off target by, you know, a long, you've stolen the base there.
See, if he's inside the line a little more there, he might have been able to do a little trick slide.
Yeah, he tried to to get away from that tag. It's a bad feeling, believe me.
Last time I felt that was in Cleveland in 90, what was it, 97. I thought, uh-oh, I'm going to end the game here. Better invent a slide.
But when you're on the bench and you see somebody playing the game like that, playing hard, playing aggressive, it's contagious.
Right. And I think you do those things when you're ahead in the game, too. And that's another thing by Goldschmidt leading this game off. It kind of relaxes you to be aggressive.
Two on Ahmed Rosario. Popped up to Corbin in the first inning. Couldn't hold up. And he strikes out. In the third, no runs hit. Nobody left on base. We're going to the fourth inning. Yankees up 1-0. Cooking up something special with HexCloud. Join the hybrid revolution at hexcloud.com. Since 2019, including the postseason, Rafael Devers against the Yankees, 27 home runs. Then Guerrero's next with 25.
Yeah, you don't want to wake this guy up. I mean, he just broke a 23-game homerless streak, which, you know, it's the longest in his career yesterday, but he's always killed the Yankees. 312, career hitter, 25 home runs. That's in 106 games, so there's no problem here in the Bronx.
Last year, he just punished the Yankees. 17 games, that includes the postseason. 28 for 68, that's 412. 5 home runs, 18 ribbies, on base percentage of .468. Just couldn't get him out. Talking to a couple of people, they say he's trying to carry the team because of all the injuries. He's taking it upon himself and sometimes try to do too much. Grounded and past it diving. Goldschmidt into right field. Judge gets the ball in quickly. A leadoff single for Guerrero.
Well, that's his strength. He's not a dead pull hitter. He'll handle the ball away and just hammer it the other way, as he did in the playoffs. So a two-seamer, you see it's just up in the strike zone a little bit. He just goes with it and hits it too hard for Goldschmidt to knock it down.
See how level his swing is. You know, now the Major League Baseball and StatCast measure that particular metric on how level your swing is, how steep it is. He's among the leaders on level swings.
Okamoto up the middle, a base hit. Guerrero will stop at second, so 2 straight singles here in the fourth inning.
Well, another two-seamer, Coney, but again, it's just kind of up in the strike zone where it kind of goes horizontal instead it doesn't have that sink, and it's just hammered up the middle. I think you get a couple ground balls. Now you can get one right at somebody and get a double play, right?
That's the idea. He's got some strength. You can see he's got some pop.
Sosa takes a strike. Grounded out the third and the first. First time in this young game that the Blue Jays have had 2 runners on in an inning. They had a runner in scoring position in the first inning, didn't score. Yankees lead 1-0 on the Goldschmidt home run. One and one.
Now that's a pitch right there as a pitcher, Coney. You got to grab that ball and say, how can you take that? I mean, he's thrown all 2 seamers. That's a perfect changeup just outside the strike zone.
The Blue Jays offense has been a struggle this year. Score 4.09 runs per game. That's 23rd in baseball. Hit .242, which is not bad. That's 13th. On base percentage of .305, that's 26th. Slugging at .371, that's 25th. They have 42 home runs. That's tied for 21st. Now, an interesting stat when you look at this team, they have 29 errors. And that's the 4th most in baseball. That's a lot for this team. They usually play pretty clean baseball. And despite the avalanche of injuries to their pitching, they're kind of in the middle of the league in all the big stats. Fly ball to Judge, tagging Guerrero. Judge makes the catch. The throw goes all the way to third, but Guerrero makes it.
You know, it's a good play by Judge, though, because, you know, if you airmail that cutoff man, you've got a man on second and third right here. Chances are you're not going to throw him out, but you have to make this able to be cut. Right there, Volpe acting like he was going to catch it.
Or could have cut it off and got the guy if he went. So that was perfectly executed.
Right. If you would see that, Okamoto was tagging up also, and he was trying to read the throw. And if it's airmailed, he's off to the races.
Here's Varsho. Rosario in on the grass at third. Volpe shades up the middle at short. One and 0. Right before Weathers delivers, trying to get really low is Escara, and his left leg kicks all the way out. If there's a ball in the dirt, it's going to be awfully hard to block. Foul back.
Well, you know, I think the theory is now, and then talking to Tanner Swanson, they feel like with this style, the catchers are better with their hands to try to pick it rather than go full block. So a lot of these pitches, if they're going to be in the dirt, will be more of a short hop. The ones you need to block are the ones that land in front of home plate. But anything that's close around the plate, they feel like your hands are a better chance.
Would you, as you watch Escara, and you know, as soon as he goes into his motion, he drops his glove. Would that bother you as a pitcher that you've lost your target?
It depends on when you pick it up. A lot of times I would look away and then pick up the target at the end.
Because right there, you see your target, and then he moves and drops the glove. There's no target there anymore.
But that helps them go from down to up for the framing of the low pitch, and that's the key to that style of catching. Is the reason the glove goes down is so that when you frame the lower pitch, your glove's going up instead of down. You're taking the ball into the strike zone instead of out of the strike zone. So that's the trade-off. They feel like framing is more important than, you know, trying to maybe get yourself in a position to block or give the perfect target for the pitcher. When by the time the pitcher's in his release point, you know, the target doesn't matter. The target matters before.
Popped up. Escara makes the catch. 2 out.
Wow, that's a big out right there. I mean, you're thinking, I got to get a strikeout or a double play. Well, that pop fly behind home plate will do the same thing. Keeps Guerrero at third base. Another guy, Clement, I mean, has not been his. He had an unbelievable playoff, you know, over 400 last year. And you start to wonder, first time these guys went through a long World Series, and then he played the WBC. I mean, are you worn out of your offseason? And you remember, I remember that guy right there, Doc.
Well, that's the old school. In the squat with the glove. Hit me right here. Throw it right here. Like at the carnival, right?
Throw it through you.
Yeah. Knock the milk bottles over right here.
Clement had 30 hits in the postseason. That's a new major league record. And Paul mentioned 18 games, he had 411. And in the ALDS against the Yankees, 9 for 14.
Yeah, my point, what I was talking about, you know, it's the first time they've been to the World Series, and they had the W. It's just, you remember how quick your off seasons go when you play that extra month, huh?
Yeah, emotionally too.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally.
Nice catch.
snow coned it, but hung on, Michael.
Hung on.
And then act like you've done it before. Look at that.
Left field, backing up Schumann, still backing up, still going back, and that ball's gone. How did that get out? A 3-run home run by Clement.
I think everybody was surprised here. Clement didn't know if it was gone. Weathers was very surprised. There's a little breeze going on, and this is the time of the night where, you know, a lot of times the outfielders, you can lose the ball periodically. The home run for the Blue Jays, though. You're one pitch from getting out of this inning. A breaking ball down out of the strike zone. Just kind of off speed, just put the barrel of the bat on it.
Yeah, sometimes his changeups will cut a little bit and went right down and in.
1-0 on Miles Straw.
See, he's out in front of it, but he's able to go down and get it. Look at the angle of attack.
Right.
To get it up, to dig it out and get it high, and get it up in the air. The ball's traveling.
Rosario reaches up, makes the grab, fires the first, and that'll do it, but not before Toronto scores 3 runs on 3 hits. The big blow, Ernie Clement's 3-run home run. Well, let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. Josh Chisholm actually had a pretty good road trip. One of the few Yankees, 10 for 31 on the trip. 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out to first in the second. Weathers could not believe that ball went out. He's talking to himself.
Yeah, how is that a home run? Cody, you've said that walking off the mound before, right? I mean, he did everything you wanted to do as a pitcher. Got him out on his front foot, got him out in front with the changeup, but it just happened to hit the barrel of the bat and just carry into the first row.
Yeah, location matters on off-speed pitches, and if you miss inner half with an off-speed pitch, even when it's down, that can still happen because it allows the hitter to get the ball in the air on the pull side.
So this game will make you talk to yourself, right?
It does. Still doing it.
How many times I talk to myself and then go up, you don't do it. And I'm like, didn't I just tell yourself that? It just doesn't work. Didn't we just discuss this? Really the first fastball you've seen in on a lefty. Corbin has been away, and you see Jazz still able to foul it off, and that's a good thing as a hitter, knowing that you can still get to the ball inside when you're looking away.
So how about this, Paul and David? The home run pitch was 1.22 feet above the ground. That's the lowest pitch ever hit for a home run off Weathers.
And we keep stats on that. Is that from James? Or is that...
That's from James, not from me. 3-2 on Chisholm.
See, it's a changeup, and the key is it's low, but look where the location is.
It did have spin.
Middle-ish, middle in.
Yeah, and it was going towards the right-handed hitter, which lefties, you want that ball to go the other way.
He's got a good changeup that goes down, but sometimes it cuts a little bit and takes a seat, and that one did, even though it was down.
Jazz knew it. He's down looking. All right, let's check out today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of New York Yankees. You think they missed Stanton? 17-9 before he got hurt. They're 11-10 since the injury. Lengthens the lineup, balances a left-handed heavy lineup. That's a big loss for them.
Well, I saw them out there hitting batting practice today, I thought, and they were giving us a preview of the basketball jerseys that they're advertised to give away pretty soon. A lot of the Yankees out in batting practice had those jerseys on today.
And guys, those are going to be the giveaway on Friday to the first 18,000 fans. When you walked in the clubhouse today, they were hanging on the chair in front of everybody's locker. You see Spencer Jones right there with the 27 jersey. Bednar rocking it as well. A lot of guys chose to wear that today. I actually spoke to JC Escar and said, hey, if you had to give a starting 5 from this roster, who would you give? And he said, of course, Judge, Stanton, throw in Spencer Jones. He's tall too. Maybe Anthony Volpe running the point. One thing he did say, he would not be on it, but supposedly Brent Hedrick, sneaky good three-point shooter, according to him.
And they probably pulled you out of the booth. You're a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah, that's about 100 years ago. That was the only problem. Well, you do miss that that bat in the lineup. I mean, that loud sound that only Stanton gets.
Two 2-0 on Volpe. Volpe singled to right in the second, stole second, and moved to third on a throwing error by Valenzuela. Fouled away. Into left center field. On the run is Schneider. He dives and he holds on and makes the play. He took an extra base hit away from Volpe.
I think you're going to have to take a look at this. He had a funny reaction when he showed that ball, like he almost pushed it back in the glove. Let's take a look here. That ball might be on the grass. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one there.
Looks like they're going to challenge.
Oh, there's the reaction. It kind of left his glove, but
well, Volpe is staying out there, and the Yankees are indeed going to challenge. Right there.
Is under further review. The call in the field is a catch. New York is challenged.
He never got control of the ball. But
I don't. I knew there was some kind of weird thing at the end, but that's after the fact that, you know, he didn't turn his glove over when the ball hit his glove.
Ball's on the ground.
Well, the Yankees challenging the play.
There it is. They showed it on the big screen where it looked like the ball was right there, out of his glove. Must be nerve-wracking as a hitter, Cody.
Yeah, I wonder how you deal with that, right?
You're just waiting for a double or an over.
What do I got? Let me know. What an effort, first of all. David Schneider, fantastic effort. It's in the glove, but not control of it. You can see it rolling around under there.
There he tries to turn his glove, and that's when it left his glove. But right there, I agree, Coney. It looked like it's kind of rolling in the grass, but
they're getting a little nervous if you're the Yankees because it's taking so long. Boone thinks it's a no-brainer. That's why he just has that look of incredulity.
Well, they don't overturn it. I think Cody's seen his last inning.
After review, the ball did hit the ground. The call is overturned. The runner is placed at second. New York retains their challenge.
Well, it's an easy call when you get a slow motion replay, but boy, live, it looked like he made it, but there was something at the end. But I agree, Coney. What an effort.
John Schneider, manager of the Blue Jays, talking things over with Ben May, probably saying, well, what did they say? And now John Tumpane taking part as well. He gets the explanation, and Volpe gets the double, so he's 2 for 2. 2 hits yesterday, 2 hits today. He's making a statement. Reached base in 11 of 18 plate appearances so far.
But the one missing link for Anthony Volpe so far in his career was the on-base percentage. Walking a little bit more, using his speed, like Paulie said. Now all of a sudden, wow, this is the first time we've seen him get off to this kind of start.
Schumann shows bunt, takes up and away.
If he's going to start walking like that and getting on base a little bit more, that changes his whole game.
Well, you know, he's gap to gap now. He's handling the ball away. He's able to pull the off-speed stuff, and that's the type of hitter I envisioned when I first saw him. And then, you know, sometimes you got Aaron Judge in the lineup and you want to start circling the bases. You try to pull everything.
Schumann walked in the second inning. There goes Volpe. Big jump. Stolen base. Second of the game.
Well, this is the second time that he's been on third base because he's using his speed.
It's called a strike, and Schumann is going to challenge that. And he's right.
Bengals are taking every advantage he's really out there.
It's a potpourri of overturns here.
Coney, I was going to throw that in that bucket for you at the end of the, but it was only 1.3 inches. The one yesterday was over 2 inches.
Yeah.
It looked like it was in the other batter's box.
Well, this is where the Yankees struggled on the road trip. They did not get base hits in these situations. Yesterday they scored 6 runs against the Mets, but they were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And in the 2-7 road trip, they were 192 with runners in scoring position. Infield is back for Schumann. With ball 4.
I would say, Coney, that pitch right there, the 3-0 pitch that used to be in the vicinity, it was a strike, is so much different now with the challenge system, huh?
That's a great point. The automatic 3-0 strike is a thing of the past. Which some people are not really happy about. You know, I mean, it's special pitchers, obviously.
Well, Jason Stark had a great story in The Athletic over the weekend that walks are way up. So is that an unintended consequence where pitchers don't want to throw it over that 17-inch plate and the umpires know I can't call strikes off the plate? It's going to be overturned.
Yeah, I mean, the studies have shown that the strike zone a lot of times is impacted by the count. To Paul's point, 3-0, the strike zone got bigger, depending on the score on the scoreboard. The umpires had more discretion to sort of go with the flow a little bit, and that's a thing of the past now.
And with all the walks, more walks in a long time, that makes the games longer too, which definitely is an unintended consequence. So here's Escara. He struck out in the second inning. Goldschmidt on deck. Right field coming on Straw. He makes the catch. Tagging Volpe. Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. Safe. He got in. A good slide. And he got in ahead of the tag by Valenzuela. So a sac fly for Escara. The Yankees pulled it within 1.
You know what? That's one of the better plays I've seen in right field. I didn't even think he had a chance. And then he was out on the throw, but then a great trick slide by Volpe to kind of pull a hand back and then get it in. Look, he intentionally pulled that hand back and then snuck it in.
That's fantastic on Volpe's part. So athletic to be able to make that maneuver after you've already committed to a slide. Pop up, come around.
Give credit to Ben May. That's a great call to watch that all the way because the throw beat him.
Well, Straw, I literally thought, you know, make sure and Volpe did a good job by immediately getting back to third base to tag up. I didn't think Straw had an opportunity to throw him out, but the ball was there in plenty of time.
7th ribby for Escara. Yankees down 3-2.
Some great athleticism there by Volpe, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of breaking down this inning, and again, the throw is just right there, kind of short hopped him, but this run was all created by speed. You know, you steal a base, you take an extra base, you make a great slide into home plate.
Foul ball off the bat of Goldschmidt.
So under control to be able to slow yourself down after you've already committed to the slide and kind of redirect and then pop right back up and make the call yourself.
As you're sliding, you know, you're kind of reading that catcher's glove, and then all of a sudden you see that little opening, and then your hand just jars toward the plate. What a reaction.
Great smile. It's like he's back at Del Barton. Just a high school kid. That's what he looked like. Runner goes. Throw mishandled. Bounswell doesn't know where it is. Now chases after it. Getting up and going to third is Schumann, and he'll make it.
Base running this inning.
Yeah, it puts so much pressure on the defense when you try to take extra bases, when you steal bases.
You put pressure on the defense to make plays. Sometimes this happens.
That's stolen base and an E2. Right field on the run, Straw, and he's not going to get there. It's off the wall. A run scores. Goldschmidt's going for two. It's an RBI double. It's a tie game.
As much success as Goldschmidt has had off of Corbin, I'm very surprised he gave him a pitch. He hung a changeup out over the plate, and his last at bat, you pointed it out, Coney, he's looking to go the other way, and that's an easy pitch to hit when you're trying to go the other way. A high changeup, and he just drills it off the right center wall.
Limited playing time for Goldschmidt. That's his 13th run batted in. There's Ben Rice. Fouled away.
I was always amazed in those shots, the forearm strength of you guys, the hitters.
That's one thing I do notice when you were hitting. You took it for granted just how strong your forearms and your hands get, you know. Those days are gone, Coney.
You know who had that? That Darryl Strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
His strength and his wristages, forearms.
Oh, you could see the muscles in his forearm.
Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Ben Rice to hit one or more home runs, plus 500. The double by Goldschmidt, 482nd of his career, and that ties the Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson for 85th all-time in Major League Baseball. And with his home run in the first inning, it was his 377th home run. That passed Carlton Fisk on the career list and ties Norm Cash and Jeff Kent for 79th all-time. He's put together a Hall of Fame resume.
The Hall of Fame guy. We know that.
Grounded second base. Sosa. That'll do it. The Yankees get back the runs for Weathers. They score two. They lead one. It's 3-3. All right, take a look at the strikeout percentage leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Ryan Weathers fourth, closing in on 30%. Dylan Cease we'll see tomorrow, 34.6. Then DeGrom, Cam Schlittler, and Will Warren follows Ryan Weathers. So three Yankees in the top there.
Not only are they in the top with their strikeout percentages, but they're also well above average in their walk percentages too. So that's a deadly combination for the Yankee pitchers.
Popped up and out of play. Well, we had to send out birthday wishes. I saw this number and I couldn't believe it. Reggie Jackson turns 80 today. 80.
That is amazing.
Yeah, right.
Right when I came over here, you remember him going to spring training. He was still in the weight room doing chin-ups with you. It's amazing.
Well, happy birthday to Mr. October.
Yep, there is only one.
So Weathers gets a reprieve after the Clement home run. Team has tied it up. We're in the 5th. 1-2 count on Valenzuela.
It was funny, Michael. We were playing a game the other night. I was home with all the kids and my wife, and you had to name a candy bar, and it just kept going around. And as soon as you can't name a candy bar, you're out of the game, right? There's so many out there. And finally, it was getting late. I said, Reggie. My kid said, there's no Reggie bar. I said, you know what? If I got to call Michael Kay and phone a friend, I will call. There is a Reggie bar.
Oh, they've been reissued. Yeah, they're Reggie bars.
There's the proof.
Into center field, Bellinger. Oh, that's scalded.
Yeah, that's where I always thought center field, they always say it's the easiest one because you get a better look. But when that ball's right at you, you really get no read. And you saw Cody Bellinger right there. Like, uh-oh, this ball's hit a little harder, starts taking off on you.
There's Davis Schneider. And a strike despite the ball being dropped.
He held the frame there. Did you see that? Like he didn't see it fly away.
Pulled the 3-card Monty on him back there.
Funny to me, I mean, we were talking about nights. It's warm tonight, and you know, Weathers you see with wool sleeves on. I don't. You didn't wear sleeves, right? When it was warm?
Not when it was warm. No.
Some guys. I remember Chapman. It'd be 100 degrees. He'd still have sleeves on.
Doc was like that too. They needed it to absorb the sweat.
Okay.
You know, if you're one of those guys.
Still 1-2 on Schneider. Schneider with his strikeout in the 3rd is now 4 for his last 46 over his last 24 games. Hitting 143. Two and 2. Strike 3, and Schneider is challenging.
Yeah, this ball looked a little low. I don't know if this is going to stick.
That's a little low.
Toronto retains.
So the count full. I said it yesterday. ABS would have changed you.
You know, it's funny. I was just looking at that pitch, and I was thinking, you knew the outside corner, you knew the inside corner, but I think the easiest pitch to challenge would be low because, you know, you just have a really good vision of that pitch.
Well, that's the 6th strikeout for Weathers. 6 Yankee strikeout brought to you by your local Tri-State Audi dealers.
Just makes a right-hand turn and keeps going. Like you're going down 2nd Avenue and you got to make a right, cut off the cabbie.
That, I mean, if that movement, right, that ball broke 2 feet, huh?
It did. Just kept going.
Springer's 1 for 2. So, Paul, of all the hitters you played with, who do you think knew the strike zone the best and who would be the best at challenging?
Well, I think Boggsy knew the strike zone. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He only got 2 strikes because he took the first strike every time up. So he really knew the strike zone. You know, I think the majority of hitters are very close to knowing exactly, especially guys that don't move a lot. If you're lunging and your head's moving, you can kind of lose the strike zone. But, you know, if you're balanced and stuff, you know the strike zone.
High fly ball, deep left center. Schumann back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. Leaps. And it's gone. A home run for Springer. And the Blue Jays retake the lead 4-3.
We talked about Springer really struggling this year. Had a career year last year, a comeback year, but he has always been able to play here in Yankee Stadium. A lot like Guerrero. Career numbers very good. Home run numbers very good. You saw the emotion going around second base. You know, he's not far from, he's from Connecticut somewhere.
Yep.
Right?
It's a big difference between where Escara was giving the target up above the belt and the one that stays down below the belt.
Here's Guerrero. That was not like the Clement home run. This was over 400 feet. He really hit it.
Thigh high. It's kind of where the hitters like it.
You saw that emotion, and the first thing I thought, you know, all right, you understand a rookie, somebody comebacker there. But he's been in the game. This is his 13th season, and you still get that bump up all the way around the bases, just like you're in Little League again, Cody. Remember those good old days, right?
Great try by Schumann. Just missed it. 4-3. We're halfway through.
.org.
Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Audi scoreboard at 4-3. Toronto over the Yankees. And Aaron Judge will start it off. And the new pitcher is Braden Fisher. Pitch is high. So Corbin gave them 4. Those are the numbers on Fisher. Judge was 0 for 2 against Corbin. Just on the outside corner, 2-1.
It's amazing when you look at certain guys, it just hurt certain teams. And you talked about Guerrero or Springer. Well, Judge on the other end is pretty same thing. I mean, in his career, he's just clubbed the Blue Jays.
Well, the numbers jump out at you, Paul. It's amazing what he's done. And last year particularly, he really owned them. 22 for 55 with 4 home runs, a .560 on base percentage. And after a while, John Schneider just took to walking him intentionally.
Yeah. Was it 59 or 60 he hit in Toronto that night? '61. All right. It was 60. I do remember that, though.
I think 60 was here, and in that same game, Stan hit a grand slam. So when Meredith wanted to interview Judge about hitting the 60th, he said, no, Stanton's the star of this game.
Right.
2-2. Outside, 3-2. And 61 off of Tim Meza in Toronto. Club to center field. Barsha back. He's got room, makes the play in front of the track. 1 down.
Yeah, just off the end of the bat enough to keep it in the ballpark. Aaron Judge gets any wood on this, it's up in Monument Park.
There's Bellinger. 1 for 2 against Corbin. Fisher's 25 years old. He had a 0.71 ERA through 11 games this year, but over his last 12, it's a 6.0 ERA. Strikeouts are a little down, walks are a little up. Second big league season.
Big old curveball there, Cody. Huh?
Yeah, he's got a unique style. Almost flies open on the first base side of the rubber, lands open, and gets right on top. It's almost like it gets his body out of the way so he can get his arm right on top and get sort of a backup breaking ball or straight downward tilt. But very unusual stylistically.
We just showed those stats. There's such a stark difference in the splits between home and road. And it doesn't make much sense because one of his 5 home runs was considered a stadium job. So why would he hit so much better here than on the road, Paul?
Well, you're so accustomed to hitting in your home ballpark that, you know, you're used to the background. You always feel a little bit better hitting at home. You know, that I think is going to even out somewhat throughout the year. I mean, you got to remember you're in May right now. You get the same thing as a pitcher, Coney. You get so used to your home mound.
Yeah, absolutely. You see a lot of pitchers, especially on good teams, that pitch well at home. You look back at the 90s, our starting pitchers, I mean, top to bottom, all had good records at home.
Rosario lines one to right field, right at Straw, who backs up to make the play. Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3, and we go to the 6th.
Kick off your...
Thank you, Bob. So the Rays are a surprise, and so are the White Sox. 13-5 record since April 27th, third in Major League Baseball. The Phillies, since Don Mattingly took over, 15-4. They're over 500. And Ronald Acuna Jr. activated off the 10-day IL. He was out with a left hamstring issue.
That's just remarkable with the Phillies, isn't it? That's twice that Dave Dombrowski's caught lightning in a bottle by changing his manager. I don't know if that's luck or if it's just a, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was important that you do it early enough to make a difference. I mean, you can't wait till August or September. There, you know, and it's you know, if you do it now and they turn it around and you get a winning culture in there, that, you know, you got the rest of the year to prove it.
It's more just a wake-up call for the guys, I think, than it is an indictment on the manager.
Now, one thing just takes some of the luster away from Dave. You know, he tried to hire Alex Cora, who turned him down. Mattingly was like, okay, he's right here. He was the bench coach, and they turned to Donnie, and Donnie's been the tonic for them. And there's not much of a difference between Donnie and Rob Thompson. They're both quiet, respectful guys, and that's how people look at them.
Yeah, and I think Bryce Harper, you know, kind of mentioned that we were just waiting for the change, and you know, it did change. And the good thing about having Mattingly, he already had a relationship with the players. You know, not the same one you do as a manager, but you know, you've been around the guys. Another good breaking ball, Connie. It's amazing to me where he holds on to that curveball and the horseshoe of the baseball.
That's past the diving Goldschmidt, a base hit for Sosa.
Yeah, Sosa's always been a free swinger. He's ready to swing the bat. Had 22 home runs a couple of years ago with the White Sox. But he's always been a free swinger. Does not look to walk. He's looking to swing the bat, and you throw it anywhere close, he's ready.
Pitch to Varsho inside. One and one. Varsho fouled out to Judge in the second, fouled out to Escara in the fourth. We're in the sixth. It's 4-3 Toronto.
Well, you can get a father-son game going with both rosters on this side here and fill it up. Son of big leaguers.
David Weathers has been around. We had an opportunity to play him in Cincinnati and here, and I haven't seen him since. So anxious to see if he ever gets to the ballpark.
Base hit to right field. Sosa rounds second. He's going to third. Here's the throw, and he's in ahead of the tag. Strong throw from Judge, but Sosa was in there. All right, let's check out the pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, you know, Weathers has had good stuff all year. He's had strikeout stuff. We showed you his strikeout rate. He probably won a couple pitches back today in the home runs, but Really, the stuff looks good. The sweeper's been good all year, especially when you throw it down and in like that. That's probably going to be it for him for tonight.
Well, Boone usually brings the hook, and he calls for the right-hander. It was Blackburn warming. So first and third, one man out. Ernie Clement coming up. That'll do it for Weathers, who's saying that ball should have moved that way. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by ShopRite. We are here. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Rams started as a starter, became a reliever. Faced George Bell many times. What a hitter.
George Bell was a bad dude. So were those three guys.
Yeah.
Saw a picture the other day of Winfield and his family. Now, Dave's about 6'6". His son's at least 5 inches taller.
Oh, my.
I mean, he's like enormous. Has to be like 6'11". Paul Blackburn will take over, and he inherits runners on the corners with one out. Clement had the big blow against Weathers, a 3-run home run that Weathers could not believe got out. That came in the 4th inning. Blackburn has a 50% ground ball rate. That's what they want right here for the double play. Quickly 0-2 on Ernie Clement. That was the count when he hit the home run. There's the ground ball. There's one. They will not get two as Clement beats it out. Scoring is Sosa. Clement picks up his 4th ribby, and it is 5-3 Toronto.
Yeah, ball just not hit hard enough. You knew right off the bat that Clement has decent wheels, and you were not going to be able to turn two. But you're right. You got what you wanted. You got the ground ball, but it was just not hit hard enough.
Can see Ryan Weathers kind of pacing, brooding in the dugout. I know that feeling so well. You put your head on your pillow tonight, you're like, 2 pitches. I just want really 1 pitch back.
So Clement came in with 12 ribbies on the season, and now he has 4 tonight. And he also came into this game in a slump. 4 for 23 in his last 7 games. 0-2. If you joined us late, Yankees have a new pitcher in the bullpen, Giovanni Cruz. And when he comes in, it'll be his major league debut. Goes over 100 miles an hour. Giovanni.
Looks relaxed right there, Coney. It'll change if he gets that call to warm up, huh?
Ground ball to Jazz, and that will do it. But the Blue Jays had a run on 2 hits. They leave 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Prevagen made for your brain. Played for a lot of teams. Started with the Braves in 05, finished with the Mets 2016. His time with the Yankees was 2014. So you'll notice he played for all 5 American League East teams. Only 2 players in history have done that. This is one of those 2. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain.
It's a lot of jerseys.
Jazz Chisholm takes a strike from Braden Fisher. Foul back. That of Mako. So Fisher has learned to throw more strikes. Had a kind of a funny quote. He said, throwing the ball harder out of the zone doesn't work any better than throwing the ball slower in the zone. One and two on Jazz. It'll be Chisholm, Volpe, and Schumann here in the sixth. Two and two. Jazz 0 for 2 tonight. Line drive. It's a base hit to right field. Shaw was thinking about throwing to first, but Guerrero was not covering. Leadoff single. Anthony Volpe comes up, and we go to the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
Well, we've seen some good at-bats from Anthony Volpe that have led to some stolen bases and a run scored, and just one of the things that he can do on the baseball field when he's on base, and it's use his legs and his trick slides too.
Volpe 2 for 2 tonight. Single and a double. Couple of stolen bases and a run scored.
You know, when you look at adjustments, watch this adjustment. Just kind of stayed on top and just guided that hand on top of it instead of under it, which he usually is. So that is just a last-second adjustment as a hitter. He kind of pulled him in and just kept that level swing instead of his usual uppercut where he would pop that ball up.
Did he go? Yes, he did, said John Tumpain.
I could agree with that one, huh?
Next year, maybe not.
Won't have to worry about it.
They are using the foul lines as a demarcation part, and you know, as an instant replay in the minor leagues this year as a test. So by that definition, that would not have been a swing. Your bat has to cross the foul line if you're right-handed hitter, the first base line.
What else is on the burner down there? I haven't heard. Are they testing? I mean, you're testing the check swing. What else we got going? Anything else you know of?
I'm sure there is. There's always a laboratory down there they're thinking and working.
A couple of years ago, they were thinking about moving the mound back a little bit.
Yeah. That's a little too much when you think about it. And everybody, you know, basketball's changed so much because of the height of the. You change the basket, it's not the same game anymore, you know.
You can get sweepers sweeping even more. Got more time to sweep.
Yeah.
And Volpe swings and misses for the first out.
When they they raised the mound and it was the year of the pitcher, was that a one-year thing or did that last more than one?
Well, they lowered it after that year of the pitcher, so that was that height for a long time.
Yeah, it was a 15-inch mound. Now it's a 10. So they've talked about actually lowering it even more a bit.
Here's Schumann, 2 walks for him.
That's why Bob Gibson looked like such a giant on the mound, right? He was on a 15-inch mound back in the day.
I think Bob Gibson could have been successful on flat ground, though, huh?
Yes.
Very close. Well, they've made 2 throws over, so now advantage Jazz.
This is another thing when running is back in the game. I mean, you're down by 2 runs, you know, and you're 1 swing in the bat. In the old days, you were not allowed to steal. Players are still on their own, basically. Just got to make sure you make it, obviously. But, you know, you were told down a couple runs, you can't make an out stealing the base.
Schumann, obviously versatile player, can always bunt. That's why Akamoto is third, is playing it straight up, right at the bag. And now with 2 strikes, he can back up a bit.
One and two on Schumann. Ground ball and grabbed there by Clement. They go to second one on to first, not in time. That's a nice play by Clement at shortstop. Took a base hit away from Schumann.
Yeah, Clement playing shortstop. You know, remember, Bo Bichette was a shortstop, but defensively, he's moved really good last year. They say not so much this year, but a great play right there. Almost turned a double play.
A regular shortstop is Andres Jimenez, but they don't start him against left-handers.
Yeah, he'll be in tomorrow. And, you know, he was a Gold Glove second baseman when it's moved over to shortstop.
John Schneider takes the walk to the mound, so he's going to call on the lefty. Adam Macko about to make his major league debut facing J.C. Escara. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Ford stores, proud to be the official SUV of the Yankees. And by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. So it is Adam Macko's turn to make his major league debut. You see 13 games in AAA, the numbers, more than a strikeout per inning, 8 walks. He was born in Slovakia. Played baseball there as a child, but then his family moved to Ireland when he was 11, then on to Canada a year later. Only the 4th big league player born in Slovakia. And the first one since Elmer Vallow, who played from 1940 to 61, including on the 1960 Yankees. Was called up yesterday when Tommy Nance went on the IL with forearm discomfort. One and two. Yariel Rodriguez. Sounds like he's throwing hard. 1-2. Grounded, first base, right there. Guerrero steps on the bag, and Macko retires his first big league batter. And we're going to go to the 7th. Time to take a look at the Yankees bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. We're showing you 7 days today to see how much the bullpen has been used. And if you're a betting man, you probably bet that Doval, Bird, and Hill would not be available. They do not like to use pitchers 3 days in a row. It's one of the reasons they called up Cruz. Just have another arm in the bullpen. Ford scoreboard, 5-3 Toronto over the Yankees. Valenzuela leads off. Lines from foul. And Valenzuela broke his bat. So we're talking about the pitchers that have been hurt. It's kind of amazing. Bieber, right elbow inflammation, maybe back in June, maybe. Scherzer, right forearm tendonitis, no return date at this point. Jose Barrios, right elbow stress fracture. His return is open-ended. Cody Ponce, right ACL sprain, out for the season. Bowden Francis, Tommy John surgery, out for the season. That's a starting rotation.
Yeah, they thought they had the luxury of, you know, having a lot of pitching, and all of a sudden, you know, you're a little short. I mean, you've got Cease throwing tomorrow. I mean, you've got some good guys in your rotation still, but you got 4 guys on the shelf.
Cease has been lights out this year. I mean, he's always had dynamic stuff. Be kind of anxious to see him tomorrow night.
And guys, you're talking about some of the injuries to that rotation. Max Scherzer actually threw a bullpen here at Yankee Stadium today, about 22 pitches. He'll face hitters next. If that goes well, to be determined. So perhaps getting one of those starters back, but obviously they have been hit by the injury bug.
1-2 on Brandon Valenzuela. Two and two.
Look back, you know, the year they had last year, and Michael, you kind of touched on it. They probably should have won the World Series, but why is this so hard to repeat with the same kind of guys? It's all about injuries. You're not the same team you were last year at certain times. And the Yankees have gone through it. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you, especially when you're, you know, one of the contending teams. But it's very hard to keep the same group of guys on the field healthy year after year.
Took a breaking ball. Took it to left field. A base hit for Valenzuela. Start off the 7th against Blackburn.
You see that front foot just closed, not able to open it up at all that way. Kind of locks you in, and then it allows you to cover that pitch on the outside corner.
Here is Yoendrick Pinango. They like this guy's bat, pinch hitting for Davis Schneider. Two and 0.
Does he got lips on his neck? Is that what it is?
I was just going to say, either mom gave him a big kiss or he's got a tattoo.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Boy, you spotted that from up here.
I want one.
Yeah.
I'm going to get one of those.
Well, Coney, I'm sure in a little pain in a couple hours, you'll be good.
I wouldn't put it on my neck.
No.
Oh, Nick, come on.
Fouled away, 2 and 2. Sometimes silence is my best option for a future.
That's, yeah, let's go silent on you. You know, it's.
I hit the mute button, Coney. I don't even know what you said. Don't worry about it. It went right by me.
Swing and a miss. Pinango down on strikes. Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org.
But these are such huge outs because, you know, you're down 2 runs and you're going through a tough time. You just had Michael, I'm going to sugarcoat, a miserable road trip. So you're trying to change this thing around, and you just cannot leave yourself so much at the end of the game.
Goldschmidt goes to second 1. Blackburn covering 2.
Nice.
Nicely done. 3-6-1 double play. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Blue Jays lead 5-3, but we're going to stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise, remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest, United States Marine Corps Corporal Russell Surdy Jr. Hazlet, New Jersey, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom, and has been awarded 2 Purple Hearts. The Yankees say thank you, Russell, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her. Throw the light with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
I've got time for your Ford Studio update. Bob and Todd with.
Well, thank you very much. 5-8-2 for the Blue Jays, 3-7-0 for the Yankees. Corbin went 4 innings. Ernie Clement, 4 runs batted in. Ryan Weathers 1 out into the 6th. Paul Goldschmidt a big day, and he's leading off against Adam Mako. Start the bottom of the 7th inning. 0-1. Straw moves over to left field, and Pinago moves to right. One and two. So, Meredith, you did a deep dive on the Pinago tattoo.
Michael, he is very tight-lipped when it comes
Ooh.
to that tattoo.
See what you did.
He chalked it up to being younger and a silly teenager. When he's asked about it, he doesn't like giving any information. He is very quiet about it and does not want to talk about it.
Wow.
So when you go to the grocery store and you buy the magic eraser, it doesn't take it off, huh?
I'll tell you what. I mean, Pete Davidson has had so many of his tattoos removed. It's painful, but you can get it done. But Meredith, that's an Emmy right there. Tight-lipped about it. Yeah, that's outstanding.
I do what I can, Michael, which some days is not much.
There's Ben Rice, 1 for 3.
It's like a scene from the movie The Hangover, right?
Yeah.
You wake up, missing a tooth, you got a pair of lips on your neck.
It happens, I guess. Hey, Michael, we were talking to leave Mako in to face Goldschmidt. He's such a good lefty, and now that he got him out, then you've got the lefty to Rice. So he kind of rolled the dice, and it worked out so far.
Yeah. You think he's going to bring the righty to face Judge. But you have Bellinger following Judge. 2-1 to Rice. 2-2. So Mako was on the taxi squad when he got the call that he was moving up. And he said he immediately went to panic shopping for collared shirts. He said he's the only one wearing a hoodie, and that can't happen again as they travel to New York. Two. 3-2 on Rice. Yankees love a base runner with Judge coming up. That makes him the tying run. Yankees trying to snap out of this slide. 2-7 on a road trip. Still 3-2. Right field. Piniago right there. 2-away. And a signal to the bullpen. The righty comes in to face Judge. Will come on back.
Dealer.
The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. Walking to home plate with Aaron Judge. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And a new pitcher, Yariel Rodriguez, comes on for Toronto. Judge 0 for 3 tonight. One and 0. Yankees down by 2. They've had a lot of trouble in one-run games. They're 3-10 in one-run games. That's the worst mark in the majors. The best mark goes to Tampa Bay, 9-1 in one-run games, and there's the difference right there in the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
Two and 1. Yariel was called up Monday from AAA Buffalo for the first time this season. Had a 3.08 ERA in 66 games last year. Two and 2.
It's really amazing. You see away, the 97 sinker in on your hand. How you can try to adjust to that, I'll never know.
That's crushed to left field. It's a base hit, and it's going to go right to the wall. Straw plays it, and Judge smartly stops at first with a hard hit, long single. Wow.
I mean, some balls are just hit harder than others, and that's one of them right there. That ball was just smoked. And that's that two-seamer that didn't quite get to the inside corner, and he kind of made an adjustment and just hammered it.
That's a great point. He did make the adjustment. He almost like he opened up his stance just a hair, saying, come in here again, and he did, and that's what happened.
So here's Bellinger as the tying run. Way upstairs. One of the negatives for Yariel Rodriguez is he walks people. Double-digit walk percentages throughout his big league career. Hit sharply foul. Tough hop.
Yeah, some tough plays down there in right field.
Fernando Cruz. Varsho back, track, wall, see ya! A 2-run home run, and the Yankees have tied the game at 5.
Well, Cody Bellinger has had some great at-bats today, and all of a sudden, boom, a big one. His 6th home run of the year. Kind of a hanging off-speed pitch, but it just sets the table. It just kind of sits there, and he knew right then, got a chance. Yankees back in the game here. We saw him earlier in the game get out to his front foot. Not there. See, everything's behind the ball. Got just enough to get it out to right center field. Well, actually off the top of the wall.
That home run now gives him the lead for the Yankees. With 32 ribbies. Fernando Cruz didn't mind getting hit with that home run ball.
Wow. Game of inches, huh?
Varsho was almost right there, right? Just overshot it a bit.
Grisham pinch hitting for Rosario. One and 0, so that gets the crowd into it. An announced crowd of 39,082. Grisham is slumping. 1 for 16 in his last 4 games. Well, the bench liked the home run. Here's your favorite shot, Paul.
Right there, huh? I might have tapped my helmet on that one, Conan. That looked like it went around the plate. Again, that's kind of a split finger, and it just doesn't have any movement down. And Cody Bellinger has really been on the ball tonight, starting with the first couple at bats against the left-hander, Corbin.
So 3-1 now on Grisham, pinch hitting for Rosario. Well, Bellinger this year especially is just a different player at Yankee Stadium. And that home run snaps a 14-game homerless streak.
Different horses for different courses.
Count is full on Grisham. Three-two, and he walked him. So Pete Walker comes out with an interpreter to talk with Rodriguez. Another righty getting ready. So Yariel is going to face Jazz Chisholm. Singled his last time up. So a big 2-run home run by Bellinger has breathed life into this stadium and into the Yankees as well. And they did it with 2 outs. Judge with the single off the wall on left, and then Bellinger with a home run off the top of the wall in right center. One and 0.
Another guy, Chaz Chisholm, right here. He gets something inner half. I mean, this is where he's looking to try to take the lead here.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Hits a stolen base.
Yeah, I love that play because you saw Jazz taking that pitch. As soon as he heard the runner was going, you take that pitch, allow him to try to steal second base. Where now you can get him in with a single.
Yeah, big late kick. So the Yankees knew that. The bench knew it. They took advantage of it. It's usually on the pitcher, not on the catcher. That's the case right there.
Go-ahead run in scoring position. 2-1. Trent Grisham leads off second. His third stolen base, matching last year's total. Sky down the left field line. That ball is off the pole. Off the pole. A 2-run home run for Jazz Chisholm. And the Yankees lead 7-5. Go figure this game out, Paul.
Well, you're looking at it to take the lead. You figure he's going to try to pull one. Why not just shoot one down the left foul pole? I think he was as surprised as anybody. But a huge inning for the Yankees. All with 2 outs.
He says it's the pants. It's the pants. Got to be the pants. Here's Volpe. And he bunts. And the pitch was up and in, and fouled it away.
See his reaction here, thinking, you know, stay fair, stay fair, stay fair. And then when you hit the pole, yeah, I knew I had it. They had plenty of distance. That wasn't the front row shot, you know. He'd be fouling like it.
They're putting on a show tonight.
Oh, you and Meredith are on fire tonight.
Fly ball. And Yago will put it away, but the Yankees have taken the lead. Couple of long balls, couple of 2-run shots. This one rings the pole right down the left field line. Channeling Carlton Fisk, he made it stay fair, and the Yankees take a 7-5 lead. Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees with the 4-run 7th inning take a 7-5 lead. And here's the swing that did it.
Oh, a little backdoor slider, and he hit it well. Over 101 miles an hour. Is it going to stay fair? A little body language. We got it.
So Fernando Cruz comes on and deals inside to Vlad.
The funny thing about that, Coney, it didn't even look like he hit it on the barrel. I mean, he generates a lot of loft and a lot of power for that body style. But it didn't even look like he really got that on the barrel.
Ball's being challenged by the catcher.
So it's a ball call, and Escar is going to challenge it. Yankees have both of their challenges, and now they lose one.
Call's confirmed. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
So 1 challenge remaining. Blue Jays have both. No need to challenge this. Everyone saw it hit the pole.
Earlier in the game, Coney, you said pitch to the scoreboard. I mean, you got a couple run lead here. I don't care if it's Vlad Guerrero or not. You can't give away free bases here. You're gonna make him hit. If he hits it hard, he hits it hard.
And they gave away a free base.
A little slider, didn't have a lot of bite on it, but again, it didn't look like he barreled it. But you know, Jazz can drive the ball the other way. You look for him to pull to try to go deep, but that one counts just as much.
That was a really nice swing on that particular pitch when you look at it again. Be able to stay on that backdoor slider like that. He's starting to get his swing right. If you want the proof, that swing right there, I mean, the degree of difficulty to hit a backdoor slider and stay on it and behind it and keep it fair the other way.
So Jazz been wearing Giancarlo Stanton's pants, and he insists it's got to be the pants. Michael Jordan, it's got to be the shoes.
Yeah.
It's the pants.
Stitches in the britches.
One and two on Okamoto. Swing and a miss. There's that pitch. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium this Thursday, May 21st, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays in a postseason rematch. It's cap night. First 18,000 guests 21 and older. See the Yankees cap courtesy of Budweiser. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Here's Andres Jimenez pinch hitting for Sosa. And a strike.
Boy, it's amazing when he gets strike one. All of a sudden, you'll see those swings out of the strike zone against that split. Well, you can't become too predictable. Boy, it's good to see that first pitch fastball for a strike, though, huh, Cody?
Changes the whole equation. Game's been around over 100 years for pitchers. I used to hear Mel Stottlemyre say it, strike one's the most important pitch. You can talk all you want about everything else. It all starts there.
Yeah, when you break down some of the averages from strike one being the first pitch, I mean, it just puts so much pressure on the hitter.
One and two.
You get to the point here with two strikes. You could see 3 or 4 consecutive splitters, huh?
Grounded foul. Now you have Hedrick up. You have Varsho on deck. So Jimenez is the third batter, the final batter that Cruz has to face. Swing and a miss. Got him. Splitter. Tomorrow, the Yankees and the Blue Jays play Game 2 here at the stadium. Extended coverage will start at 5 with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch at 7:05 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So they leave him in to face Varsho. Clement on deck. 0-1.
When you look at that split finger, I mean, right-hander, left-hander, there's really no advantage. I mean, that thing has so much movement, and you really can't track it as a hitter because you don't know exactly what it's going to do.
Escara keeps the runner at first.
You know, he really is the definition of a forkball as opposed to a splitter. And the difference being the spin and the movement on it. Really nice job by Escara to just get anything on that to stop it. Mostly bare hand, it looked like. You know, a split finger is more in the category of a fastball. Forkball is more in the category of a true off-speed pitch. I mean, it's slower, it's got more movement. less spin.
Some of them actually knuckle. I mean, you pick up, like I said, you really can't track it because it's almost got a knuckling effect to it, and he usually ends up going down at some point.
I'll give you an example. An average fastball, the RPMs, the rotation on the ball is usually in the 2,000 to 2,500 area. That pitch he just threw was only 483 RPMs.
Yeah.
Almost closer to a knuckleball, like you said. So less spin, more movement, great arm action. It's the vertical drop right at the plate, the last moment, the waterfall effect when he's right, that makes that pitch so effective.
Two. Swing and a miss. Filthy splitter as he strikes out 3 in a row here in the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. No spin, but a lot of effectiveness.
For 90 days. Hurry in.
I'm trying to name that Yankee. Here are the clues. Now, there's 2 players that have played for all 5 teams in the AL East. One of them is Steve Pearce. The answer to this is the other one, Kelly Johnson.
Wow. I'm 0 for 2 on this trip, Michael. I'm not off to a good start.
You didn't get Marv Thornberry yesterday. No Kelly Johnson today. Jeff Hoffman comes on. Faces Max Schumann. Hoffman has lost his closer role. Paul mentioned the home run he gave up in the 7th game of the World Series. And he has lost his closer job. They're hitting .329 against him.
When you talk about, you were thinking about Weathers going home and, sitting on the pillow with, I had a couple pitches left. Could you imagine living with giving up a home run in game 7? It's just something that it doesn't go away.
Never. Leaves a mark.
Yes.
Forever. I've got a few of those marks.
Clement takes over at second. Jimenez at short.
Ball 4 to Doug Strange. I don't think about it too much.
You still remember that?
I don't think about it all that much.
From right field, it looked like a splitty in the dirt.
It was.
Now, an interesting conversation took place between innings. So, Cruz struck out 3, worked the scoreless 8th, and then he had, you'd say, David, a lengthy conversation with Aaron Boone. Now, you've got your closer up in David Bednar, but do they go batter to batter with Cruz?
It's a great point. Just by judging by that conversation that we witnessed in between innings, it feels like there's some strategy going on here.
The last words, it looked like Cruz says, well, thank you. And that to me says I'm done. But I could be wrong.
A pitcher's game face is usually a dead giveaway. I mean, it completely changes when you're out of the game.
Well, Cruz threw 21 pitches. His season high is 26. Very serious in-dugout conversation. There's a base hit for Schumann.
You throw up a couple more runs, it would make that decision a lot easier.
Well, let's take a look now at the Range Rover Sport Dynamic Performer. Tonight it is Fernando Cruz.
Well, yes, I mean, the ball is dropping off the table. When he's right with that pitch, it's one of the most effective pitches, off-speed pitches in the game.
It's not just the movement, which is really weird, like I said, because it knuckles and you can't really decide where it's going to go. But it's a slip pitch, and so the arm speed is as hard as a fastball, but the ball doesn't get there, and then you can't track which way it's going. So it's doubly effective in that aspect.
Runner goes, big jump. No chance for Valenzuela.
The big, tall right-hander Hoffman, obviously slow to the plate. I mean, you're just taking advantage and giving yourself extra chances to score runs. The Yankees have done a good job of base running tonight.
play by Valenzuela to retire Escara and keep the runner at second. A tremendous play. Probably a foul ball, but still somehow he hauled it in.
Yeah, which makes it hard as you're in a squat position. You come out, have to find the baseball, get your mask off, and then make a diving play. What a super play. This is all on Escara. I mean, you get an opportunity, the manager's going to say, you got to get him over. Either way, you want to bunt him, but as a lefty, you know, you usually try to just hook a baseball to the right side.
There's Paul Goldschmidt. Ground ball. The shortstop Jimenez. And a nice stretch there by Guerrero to retire Goldschmidt. Well, tomorrow on Yes, host Gracie Cashman sits down with former New York Rangers goaltender Mike Richter for a deep dive into the numbers that defined his career. Watch the story of my number presented by the New York Lottery tomorrow following Yankees coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So here's Ben Rice against Hoffman. Runner at second, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. 0-1.
We were talking yesterday. I mean, this is a perfect example. You know, you've got 2 outs. You got a lefty against a righty. That, you know, I got wiggle room. But you got Aaron Judge on deck. So Ben Rice is going to see pitches.
One and one. Two and one.
The call of ball is being challenged by the catcher.
So Valenzuela is going to challenge the ball call.
Ball looked low. Yeah.
Call confirmed. Toronto has 1 challenge.
That's about as good as it gets right there. We're behind in the count. Quick little slider right off the inside corner.
Count 3-2 on Rice with Judge on deck. Payoff. Grounded foul. So interpret that face, David. Is he done?
It looks like a game face is still on to me, but Bednar's hot and ready to go. That's just Fernando. He's just
He's a show emotion. There's no doubt about it.
Got it right by him at 98 miles an hour, striking out Rice. Runner stranded at second. Yankees will try to close it out in the 9th. Well, all fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, Adam Ottavino are in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Marakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse. And we're going to hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. It's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So the home run by Jazz Chisholm giving the Yankees a 2-run lead. And the Yankees will again go to David Bednar. So it will not be Cruz batter to batter. And he's trying to bounce back from this. We talked about short memory. He hung a breaking ball to Tyrone Taylor, who hit it with 2 outs in the 9th inning for a 3-run home run. That tied the game, and the Yankees lost 7-6 in 10 innings. And Meredith, you spoke to him after the game.
Michael, I did, and he said that was just a tough one to swallow. Obviously, David Bednar, execution-wise, did not like where he put that pitch. I asked him about throwing a curveball and getting beat on a first-pitch curveball for the second time that road trip, and he said he's had a lot of success with that trip. It's not necessarily pitch selection. He just wanted it in a different place and hung that pitch. But overall, frustration out of David Bednar and frustration out of the Yankees after the way that road trip ended.
See Ryan McMahon taking over at third base to tighten up the defense there. That removes Schumann out of the game. Outside. They say the best closers have short memories. Mariano Rivera certainly did, but it's hard to forget. It just happened yesterday afternoon, and it was a brutal loss. So he'll try to bounce back.
Well, the leadoff hitter is crucial when you're in this spot on the mound, when you're coming off a tough day yesterday and your last 8 appearances look like that. Getting this leadoff hitter is hugely important.
Gave up a walk-off home run to Bryce Terang in Milwaukee as well. That was not a save situation, but yesterday was 3 runs. And all goes away with one hanging breaking ball. So a 3-1 count now on Clement.
The 2-1 splitter there.
Popped up behind the plate. Escara gives it a look. Well, Clement had a home run in the 4th inning. We'll take a look at it on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. Exit velocity of 99.4. Traveled 381 feet. First row. Clement with 4 RBIs tonight. Bednar deals. Foul back.
Well, these are the type of bats I was talking about earlier in the game that I remember from last year. You know, just fouling off pitches. It just makes it extremely difficult for a pitcher to have an easy inning.
And he walked him. That is not the way you want to start this inning. That brings the tying run to the plate. Jesus Sanchez will pinch hit for Miles Straw. 45 games, he has 5 home runs. Big cut on a splitter.
Almost pitches backwards. A curveball or splitter usually for strike 1, and then try maybe late in the count to put people away with the fastball. Huh?
Absolutely. 3-pitch mix.
Another splitter. 2 dandies in the count 0-2.
Sanchez has always been a free swinger.
See the difference in the spin. That's actually got a spin on it, and that's we were trying to emphasize how little spin that Cruz has. That's totally a different pitch.
It is. That one had 1,800 RPMs on it compared to Cruz's in the 500 RPM range, which means less spin, more movement. That's more like a split finger fastball.
Yeah.
91 miles an hour. There's the difference between a forkball and a split finger fastball.
3 straight splitters to the pinch hitter Jesus Sanchez. Now 2-2.
Got to go right back to chase mode. Sanchez has always been a free swinger. He's already swung through 2 splitters down. You got to go there again.
And they did.
I always feel like sometimes pitchers, when you get late in the count, don't want to go 3-2 here, that splitter, you almost kind of aim it a little bit, and you don't get that movement. You saw that one hang just a little bit, and that's by just kind of forcing it in the strike zone.
Ground ball over the head of Goldschmidt and down the right field line. Clement will go to third. They're waving him home. And the throw will come into Jazz Chisholm. It's a pinch hit. RBI double for Sanchez. And now the Yankee lead is just 7-6.
Well, we threw another splitter, and it's just bad luck right there. Just kind of a chopper that ended up down the right field line.
The difference is this one's left on the inner half and up. He didn't get it down and away. Sanchez chases. If you're going to throw a pitch, you're trying to get him to chase on, you got to get it out of the zone. Obviously, he was trying to do that, just didn't get it there.
And a meeting at the mound. All the Yankee infielders surround Bednar. And now the tying run is at second base.
You got nobody up in the Yankee bullpen right now, Michael. So Aaron Boone is going to sit and hope that Bednar somehow, some way can work himself out of this.
And what you worry about 2 batters from now is George Springer, who is always dangerous in those spots. There's Brandon Valenzuela. He has 4 home runs. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Yankees expecting a bunt. And there's a strike.
Well, it's another splitter up in the strike zone. Glad he wasn't swinging away here.
Not bunting then. 1-1. Most of the stadium and Yankee fans watching this game, everyone holding their breath right now. So you can hear his frustration as he bunted that foul. 1-2. Piniago is on deck. Sanchez at second. Yankees lead by 1. Nobody out here in the ninth. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout on the splitter. 1 away.
And that's the good splitter, Coney. That's the one that dives at the end where you get a swing and a miss. And that is a huge out for the Yankees by not advancing the runner.
Another look right out of the hand, and this one goes down and away.
Piniago fouls it back. Pinch hit in the 7th inning and struck out. Springer is on deck. One and one. Holds up. Through the curveball low and inside. 2-1.
It's actually a good pitch, a sequence. It's to show something else other than the split finger and the fastball.
Sanchez was dancing off second, so that was a good inside move fake by Bednar. Check him back. Fouled straight back. Had a good hack at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, you showed in the fastball up, Coney. You would think that split finger, you know, down in the strike zone would be your pitch.
2-2. That's what he threw, and it was fouled away.
The only problem, it ended up kind of waist high, huh?
Just got to get it down a little more. Obviously, he's trying to. He wants it to go down and away. That one just took a seat and sat right there.
Splitter in the dirt, the count is full.
This tried to make the adjustment, over-adjusted.
He got by a scar where he is. I mean, that ball hit out in front of home plate. That could end up anywhere.
Bednar against Yohendrick Pinago. And he walked him. So now the go-ahead run is on base. And Matt Blake is going to go out and talk with Bednar. His pitch count is also climbing. 24 pitches. Remember, he pitched yesterday. And that'll bring up George Springer. This is what happened in the 5th inning.
Always been a good fastball hitter. Dead red.
So Bednar has walked 4 in his last 3 games after none in his previous 9. He has an 8% walk rate as a Yankee, but he's walked 2 here in the 9th, and one of them has scored.
And now the lineup turns over.
Coney, you're 24 pitches into this inning. You know, the game's on the line. Your heart's pounding. Does that little break give you enough gas to recover?
I think more mentally, just reset mentally and make sure you're on the same page.
1-0.
This is not good because Springer, you talked about a dead fastball hitter. Now you're in a count where you're going to have to get him a fastball before this count's over.
Bednar has a 56% ground ball rate. That's what they'd love right now to end the game with a double play. 3-0, and you saw Hedrick is up. Crowd getting very restless here at the stadium. Understandably so. And do they green light Springer here on 3-0? Bednar has to throw a strike.
I think Springer, with his status as a veteran, you let him do what he wants. If you see something he likes, you turn him loose.
Yeah, the problem is you got a guy on deck that likes these situations too, and Guerrero Jr.
He was swinging and swings over the splitter. 3-1.
Well, that's a lot of confidence. 3-0. Also is a lot of respect that you know this guy can turn around a fastball.
Did it again. 3-2. And he turned around and asked Ben, was that a strike?
2 of his best splitters he's thrown.
Three and 2, 1 out. Got him. 3 straight splitters on a 3-0 count. Comes back to strike him out. And the Yankees are an out away.
Well, that's the way you draw it up, Coney. I guess you get behind 3-0 and then you just throw your 3 best splitters.
Yeah, here we go. George Springer, Yankee killer, splitter down and away, misses. Another one down and away. Up and in, 3-0. Now what are we going to do? 3 straight splitters. They're all dandy. Well thrown, well located at the knees or just below. 3rd time's charm.
And now a modern day Yankee killer, Vlad Guerrero Jr. steps up. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Blue Jays down by 1. 2 men out here in the 9th inning. 1-0. On deck is Okamoto. That one just missed. Curveball. He's thrown 33 pitches, 19 of them on splitters, but he throws the curve here on 2-0.
Yeah, he went to that weird grip curveball and got a swing and a miss. Guerrero looking dead fastball.
And the Blue Jays down to their final strike. Another curveball. The curveball bit him yesterday. He's thrown 2 to even the count.
We haven't seen the fastball in this count. I can't imagine you go to it now, huh?
No.
Either the curveball or the split finger. You've seen everything away to Guerrero, too. He will adjust with 2 strikes.
Well, with the splitter. Well, the Blue Jays get a little bit of an advantage now. The runners will go. Sanchez from second. Piniago from first. 3-2, 2 outs here in the ninth. Yankees lead 7-6. Right to Jazz Chisholm. Gets the hop. Fires the first. And the Yankees hold on. And they win 7-6. And you all may exhale.
Bednar, you know what? You made it exciting, but somehow, some way you got out of it. Great pitching there at the end. Another tough save opportunity. Self-inflicted by Bednar.
Oh, nice comeback for the Yankees. They fell down. Weathers threw the ball well, but gave up the big home run. A nice win by the Yankees. You could tell they needed that win by that reaction right there by Aaron Boone.
Well, that's probably going to be a meme because of this.
Well, we'll go pitch by pitch. Boy, your back's against the wall. First pitch curveball, not hanging that one. Splitter down and away, just missed. Ooh, get him to swing through the curveball. We're back in and another curveball at the end of the bat. Now what? 94-mile-an-hour splitter. And then another splitter that stayed up but got him off the end and got him to Jazz. Game over.
So the Yankees start this important homestand with a victory after going 2-7 on an awful road trip. Bednar bounces back from yesterday, makes you all sweat a little bit, but in the end, he did his job. 7-6 Yanks.